All right, guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at AMD. I know we talked about this one a couple times, probably maybe once a week we have been covering this name. So last time, December 13th, December 6th, and then November 26th. Looks like once a week I was talking about this one. So last time we talked about this 45% decline. Is it a discount or is it still expensive? That was the video. And I was talking about the stock basically slipping below its trend line support that I was watching, and now this level becomes resistance, and this stock is officially in a downtrend and in a bear market. So okay, so ultra short term, this 122, this is the level of August, I believe, low. It hasn't cracked this level in the past 2 days, where if you just zoom into the stock, yeah, it has been flushing a couple days in a row, and it's been pretty much soaking up. So it was immediately recovering, and people seem to be maybe in an accumulation mode, and it might see some sort of a relief bounce. At the moment, my resistance levels for this stock, let's just go with this, 132 and 144. That means, can it push from here about 10-15% rally to the upside? Yeah, very likely, very possible. We'll take a look at the option activity. And also, I was already looking at the option activity yesterday, the day before yesterday, where a lot of people were coming in ultra short term, like January, February. People were buying in the money $100 calls for the stock. You can go take a look at it yourself. But in this video, I want to take a look at something else. So last time I was looking at this name, I don't know, was it with you guys or not? I think, when was it? A week ago, I think, 2 weeks ago. I went to SPY, which is S&P 500 ETF, which tracks S&P 500. And I showed you guys how much what's their average cost for the stock. Okay, so stock was trading at $140 levels, and they had about 19,800,000 shares. So, and then today on December 17th, I'm just casually looking around SPY. I was trading SPX today too, and looks like they have done a rebalancing, and stock is 126 right now. Stock has declined, but SPY ETF has increased the shares. I'm like, why is that? So they have bought about 700,000 shares of AMD. They increased it, and it looks like it's a rebalancing, which for me, it's kind of like a new, even though I have been trading so much, but I have never kept an eye on the rebalancing part. And for some reason, my thought was, if market capitalization of the stock declines, which means if the price of the stock declines, in the rebalancing, SPY has to sell it. But I'm seeing that they increased it, so by that many shares. So if you have any insight to that, you can definitely drop a comment below. But the point is, yeah, they have increased. SPY ETF has increased the total shares they own for AMD right now, 20,575,000. That's what it is. So we talked about the the price levels for the stock. So if it cracks 120, I'm going to be watching $100 level for the stock. But option activity. So put to call ratio so far today, 358,000 calls being traded, 246,000 puts being traded. Market is about to close. And I want to go quickly take a look at what are the biggest orders that could have come in so far today. I know there are many calls being sold, which are far outside of the money, but also there are many puts could be being sold. The biggest event for these two names, for AMD, would be the Micron's earning. MU, if you take a look at it, I think they're about to report tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. 18th after market close. Yeah, tomorrow after market close. And this is regarding all the semiconductor names. Today market wasn't pretty exciting. It was, chip makers were down. There were like 3-4 names that held up the market, which is Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft. Large cap names prevented the stock market to go down because S&P 500 today, only 120 names were green, and pretty much 300 something names were negative. And of course, SPY is negative too. You can see, what is it right now? 0.4% down. But it could have looked pretty ugly if not for those 3 large names that kept pushing today and held up today. So yeah, tech names are holding up, and we have FOMC meeting coming up, which is in 2 days, which is actually tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Fed is going to cut the rates, and we'll see what happens with the overall market, how it's going to take it, and how the reaction is going to be. But ultra short term, I think AMD could finish the week somewhere around here, and then maybe Christmas rally it will join and maybe push towards 140 and 144. But one more thing I want to share here is, for me, for myself, I know it's already, I have already gone through this. You can do it yourself. Go to stockanalysis.com, pull up AMD, and pull up the revenue, and go to compare, and compare it to these 3 names. Looks like I have already compared it. That's why it's still there. Compare it to, I did go through Micron and Qualcomm, how their revenue was growing. Pretty much they all make about the same, except for Qualcomm makes a lot more revenue compared to these two. But Micron and AMD pretty much are the same, versus AMD has pretty solid, trending higher revenue. The only problem for AMD is, they have been spending the cash to the AI, and there's not much of a change over there. And also they looks like they guided for Q4 slightly down, but still they will revenue for this year will be 10% year-over-year growth. It's just market. Market was expecting and what they are reporting. That's the problem for the market. And if you take a look at, I think I have already pulled this up. If you also take a look at the forward earnings, forward PE for these names, and I brought it up already too, and that's why I was comparing it to, you can see where the forward PE in general, 29 for NVIDIA, 31 for Broadcom, AMD 24 times of its forward earnings, Texas Instruments 32 times. And the reason why I put the Qualcomm and Micron, because those two were relatively, they're doing well too, but it's just they're trading at very, very low forward earnings, where Micron is 8.5 times and Qualcomm pretty much 13 times of its forward, pretty much next 12 months earnings projections. So you can do it yourself. Go take a look at it. You can do a little bit of a digging yourself. But in my opinion, even at these prices, AMD is expensive. But it all depends what is going to be the guidance after Q4. What has changed for the company in Q4? We know they're about to report $7.5 billion for Q4. And it's gonna pretty much, they're gonna report in January. We still have like 1 month or so until that time. But I want to see what Micron's report is going to be and how it will impact all these names. So watching this level as a support, we'll see what it does after this pretty big option expiration. The reason why I'm not looking for any sort of a bounce in this zone right here, because I'm looking for some sort of a max pain, which happens all the time where stocks trade downtrend between option expiration to option expiration. It tends to finish there, and then after option expiration it tends to move. I don't know in AMD's case if it's going to catch a bid or not, but so far it's trading at this support level, and some people, big option traders, trying to pick a bottom here and trying to go with some calls, in the money calls. But that's the update for AMD. We'll see what happens tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and we'll talk about this one next week. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.